Hey guys, so I wanted to make a stream today. I was looking at the egg cartons. So we have egg cartons in the kitchen. I used to throw them in with the regular recycles, but I found out that I was taking out the trash, the recycles way more often because, egg cartons take up a lot of space. So I figured if I have a recycle bag, this is just a clear bag. I stack them up on top. When it gets all the way to the top, I can just tie it up, throw it inside of the recycle bin. Now, you can see that it went all the way up to the top, and then I added a few more because I was lazy. But it does close. I kind of readjusted it, made sure that all the 18 egg cartons were put together, and then the dozen were put together, so it saves a little space and everything fits in a whole bag. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is, although it seems really surprising that we have 35 egg cartons that I need to bring down to recycling right downstairs, I know that it isn't that surprising when you think about how much eggs we go through a week. So we go through about 3 dozen eggs. Lewis eats about 5 eggs a day. I eat about 2 eggs a day. I don't eat eggs every single day. Sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like eating eggs. So this thing, I see it as like this is like really a sign of consistency. It seems surprising at the end of it, but if you just do certain things, it adds up and adds up. And why am I bringing this up? Well, if you look at a lot of this diet fitness thing, they say, oh, look at the transformation they made. Oh, wow, look, April 2015, April 2015, and then November 2015, it seems like she's losing weight. It might not seem that dramatic to you, but something like this, like I lost 24 pounds, or like this, right? I mean, like, wow, look at this guy. It's 40 weeks diet and exercise. I'm not shilling this fitness program, but it's just like consistency really matters. But I think sometimes when people look at like before and after transformations, they get a little dissuaded because they think, oh, well, I look like this, and that person on the after is just genetically blessed. No, that's not it. They have to stick with exercise regimen. They have to clean up their diet. I guarantee you, these people who look really good, they are not eating fast food. They're not eating like sugary foods all the time. It's really a combination of diet program, exercise program, making sure they stick with the routine, and slowly but surely you get the results like on the right. Not for everybody, right? And even for Hollywood celebrities, you look at how much the how great their bodies look for a movie, and these celebrities, they'll say things like, yeah, it looks great, but they had to wait, they had to exercise every day, they had a personal trainer, they had a dietitian, they had to go low sugar or not eat, they had to go low carb, and they were forced to do it, not because they wanted to get the great body, but because not because they truly wanted it for themselves a lot of time, but if they're going for, let's say, a movie role, or if they're a celebrity, there's possibly millions of dollars banking on their body image. Like, can you imagine, for instance, right? Let me look at it. Can you imagine if Gerard Butler in 300 did not look as buff as he did? Now, I understand, there definitely was some spray paint over here and CGI work, but let's face it. I mean, this guy looks like he was in shape, and he had to look the part in order to play the part, and it's not like he just wanted to wake up and go for these abs. In fact, if you look at how Gerard Butler looks now, let's say, let's give him the benefit of that. Let's go 2019, before the whole situation. You can see he's not looking as fit as he used to. Okay, let me look. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be. Okay, see, look, see, he has like a little tummy fat. So even a guy who has a 6 pack in 300, if he just kind of lets himself go a little, lives life, his packs go back to being regular, like an average person, and that's perfectly okay. He looks like he's enjoying life, and good for him. Life, there's more to life than just getting 6 packs and a toned body. It looks great for a movie, but you're not really living life if you're on that kind of peak level all the time and you have this pressure to always have your body on point. And if you don't believe me, like, look at bodybuilders. Like, bodybuilders, those natural bodybuilders, they're not always on peak competition ready fitness level all the time. Like, yeah, they might be buff, they might be, their fitness level could be higher, but they're not looking like super defined and super toned 24/7, 365 years. They have off times. And some people, when I hear about, there's this one woman that I was looking up, her name was Renee. I think her name was Renee. She was saying, okay, so this woman, she takes steroids, or she takes some kind of performing enhancing drugs. She had a documentary, and she said that she's actually turned down eating at Thanksgiving because she cares so much about her fitness that she cannot deviate away from her diet. So if I remember correctly, her basic breakfast is plain chicken, water, rice, all blended up in a smoothie. And she, like, you can see she has the results, but there's a lot of work put in. And this kind of stuff, again, does not happen overnight. So the same thing goes with not just bodies, skincare as well. If you're going on a skincare regimen, don't think that you're going to be able to get these results in 24 hours. This woman, it took her 12 weeks to go from this acne to this acne. It's all really a process. If you are on any sort of skincare, body regimen, health regimen, please do not think you're going to see results in 24, 48 hours. It's going to take a while. That's the reason why these before and afters usually go day 1, day 30, day 60, day 90, 1 year later. You got to give it time. And then on the opposite, right, weight gain happens slowly but surely too. So this is Nick Cotto Avocado. I'm kind of, what's happening to him kind of horrifies me. I wouldn't suggest watching his videos, but I've seen people talk about it. So he used to be a pretty, slim, trim guy. And then he became a mukbanger, which is he eats a lot of food, huge quantities of food for views. And it's taking a negative it's negatively impacting his health. So you can see how chubby this guy has gotten. And again, he's eating this way because money is flowing in. And it's sad because, like, I know that there are people watching him and they like watching him because they see it as a train wreck. But honestly, I believe he's making, he's a multimillionaire. Like, why would you put your health online for this kind of stuff? Like, if you have a heart attack, if you have some sort of like a health issue that stemmed from your eating, all the millions of dollars in the world is not going to make you feel better, and you're really just shortening your life expectancy when you eat like this. Now, I know most of you guys watching my videos, you do not eat this way. I hope you guys are practicing moderation, but I'm sharing with you that not only is it that if you stay consistent with your diet and you clean it up, right, you'll look better. But if you go the opposite direction and you're relatively healthy and then you start packing on the pounds, over time, the weight gain appears. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in a period of months, weeks, months, years, and it's hard to get the weight off and go back to being skinny when you're heavier, in my opinion. I think that when you get used to habits, right, like reverse ways, like if you're eating healthy, you're used to portion control, you're used to making sure that you buy healthier foods. But once you go on the opposite direction, you're always eating processed foods. You get so used to the taste of high sodium and fried foods and maybe the quickness of making instant ramen. It's hard to break those habits and then go back to like, oh, okay, well, I need to eat whole foods again. Whole foods is tasty to me, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, it looks very visually appealing, and it's really nice to eat something like fried chicken. I love fried chicken. I love Popeyes very, very much, but I haven't had Popeyes ever since I've been in New York. Part of it is, well, it's not good for me. The other part of it is like I think about like pros versus cons. I could eat a fried chicken. I won't. I gotta watch my sodium levels the next day. Just keep it in check. But I kind of think like, you know what, I'm just going to continue building upon my good habits, having like a stack of egg cartons in my life where it's just good habits. And then, again, Here's another thing. Drugs, before and after. So this woman, this is Faces of Meth. In case you guys are not familiar with this, in the U.S., at least they show the slow progression about meth. And you might think like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be a meth face. Nothing bad's going to happen to me. Look what happened to this woman. 28, 29, you can see signs of aging. 28, 30, yeah, it starts getting worse. 31, I don't know if it's just me, but she looks better at 31 than she does at 28. And then 32, she starts looking rough. 33, really rough. 34, uh-oh. 35, oh crap. 36, 37, 36, 37, she basically looks the same. But when you look at the progression, right, you can see that over the course of 9 years, she ages dramatically and she looks terrible. And yeah, so it's not just and that's why they say for certain drugs, right? They say don't do this stuff, not even once, because once you get into a cycle, as time goes on, you're going to find yourself possibly looking like this woman did in 37. And you might think, like, this isn't going to happen to me. I still look good. I don't have to worry about things. But it's all about just doing it over and over and over. So, and then these bad habits add up. So, on a more positive note, just think of it kind of like having a tea collection as well. People who have tea collections, I have a small tea collection. You amass it, and next thing you know, hey, your cabinet's full of tea because you've just bought so much tea. You buy one tea, and then you think, oh, okay, I'll buy another tea, and then you might have a great collection and be proud of it, or say, wow, I have way too much tea. How did I get so much tea? It's all about going into the habits. And hopefully, if you collect tea, you're also drinking the tea, because as I have learned, if you don't drink the tea, and I've been drinking tea every day, by the way, a cup a day. I try to go with low caffeine or no caffeine stuff. Yeah, you gotta work through the pile. It's funny because it's like sometimes I will get tea and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll try it, and then I have a few cups and then I forget about it, and 6 months later I'm like, oh yeah, I have this tea still in here. So I don't have that much tea. Again, I'm working through my little pile, but I have no desire to add more tea for the time being. So think about good habits like a little nice pile of tea. You can open up the drawer and say like, hey, look, I have all these good habits. But if you have bad habits, it's kind of like having a pile of trash. And I think that bad habits and good habits, they do add up over time. For instance, right? Like, look at this one pile of trash. If you look closely, you can see that there's a lot of looks like drinks, like coffee drinks, sodas, instant food. I don't know if this is residential trash or public trash, but whatever it is, right? If someone is drinking soda every day, or eating takeout food all the time, all that sodium, all that sugar is going to catch up on them. And it's something to really keep in check. So, long story short, whatever that you're trying to accomplish in your life, just keep in mind, you got to build upon the habits. And slowly but surely, just like how I amassed 35 egg cartons over time, I believe that when you look back, you're going to be like, wow, I built so much good habits. Or hopefully it's not the negative and you say like, oh man, I have so much bad habits. But even if you have bad habits, I believe with consistency, you can turn it around, and you can lose the weight, you can get better skin. But again, you need to give it time. And I find that a lot of people, they get dissuaded about the time thing because they see the result, right? They see maybe like, oh my goodness, like, oh wow, this person looks so great. They lost so much weight. Kind of like how I amassed so much egg cartons, right? But they don't see like it was like a slow accumulation of just building upon the habits and just being consistent, and then at the end of it you gain the results. And it should be inspiring, but I think sometimes people get very intimidated by it because they think to themselves, man, I understand it took 6 months, but I don't think I can do it. You really just have to go at it. It's small baby steps, and when you do it that way, I think you'll find really good results. It's just making sure you stay on top of it. You like the turtle and the hare, right? You remember that story? The turtle was moving very slow but consistently, and then the hare was going very fast, but they burned out. So my whole thing about life is I rather be a turtle. I know it sounds funny because when you think about my stock portfolio, it's very aggressive, but my whole thing is like, be a turtle in life. It's better to just slowly make good habits, and then eventually you'll find your way in a better place. But just stick to it. And on a personal note, today I woke up, I looked in the mirror, and I said, man, my face has a lot less inflammation. And I think it's because I've been cutting down my gluten. I've been cutting down the processed sugars, cutting down the gluten, and maybe that whole thing about sugar face. They say that if you eat too much sugar, your face looks dull. Let me pull this up. Sugar face. Is this it? Yeah, so there's this whole thing about sugar face. They say that it makes your skin look a little duller, and then if you cut down the sugar or if you cut down the inflammation, you end up looking a little brighter. And I feel like my skin looks better, and yeah, I'm not having I have like less of breakouts, but that could be combination of me reducing my sugar and kicking out the gluten, right, as much as I can. And then making sure that I'm eating healthier. I don't go with the processed food. I love instant ramen. Like, don't get me wrong, I love instant ramen so much. I will eat instant ramen in the future, but not right now. I'll definitely eat it in moderation. But when you have more good habits than bad habits, you'll just get better and better and better. But you just really, whatever protocol you stick to, you just gotta stay on track, because if you don't stay on track for a while, then it's just, you're not gonna see the results. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna be looking at chat really quickly. And chat has nothing. I know people are like, what the hell, Erica? Egg carton. So I'm going to talk to you guys later. And I hope you guys, I hope this stream, although it might sound a little strange for me to talk about egg cartons this way, I hope that you guys just keep it in mind. Whatever you want to do, please just stay consistent with it. Don't beat yourself up if you're not losing weight as quickly as you wanted to. If you have a skin issue and you're working actively on it and it's not getting any better, then pivot. Try and figure out, like, hey, what's causing it? Could there be something inflaming my skin and my diet? I found out again that's gluten and sugar for me. Other people, like, I can't have dairy too, because dairy breaks me out if I drink milk. It's strange. Like, really high fat ice cream does that as well. Could be a combination of milk plus sugar, who knows? But it's all about just finding, it's all about bettering ourselves. And I think that's what life is about. So we really need to be very mindful about the actions that we do in our day-to-day life, what we're eating, and also how we treat ourselves. Because I think sometimes people, they get so used to this idea, like maybe they're beating themselves up mentally, like they say, oh man, I'm so fat, and I know someone in my chat earlier, I think it was earlier today, yeah, they called themselves fat and ugly, and it made me sad that they thought about themselves that way. Because when you call yourself fat and ugly, that's really a defeatist attitude, in my opinion, right? It's not like I'm a work in progress. I think that when I hear that term fat and ugly, it almost sounds like they gave up on themselves. And if you want to change yourself, if you don't want to be fat anymore, you need to put the work in. I know it sounds terrible for me to say it that way. It makes me sound really cold. But seriously, weight gain happens when you eat extra calories, and unless you have some underlying health issue. But it's all like, if you want to get out of like the whole fat and ugly thing, you need to just, you need to make conscious steps to eat healthier, exercise a little bit more, walk around, cut out the processed foods, cut out the processed sugars, limit that, and then slowly but surely the weight will go down. And then if you feel like you're ugly because you have a terrible hairstyle, then get another hairstyle. Test out different styles of clothing. Look online to find better clothing styles. You guys know, like, I've given a whole bunch of thoughts about what I think is attractive for both men and women, how to dress. Just my personal opinion. Wear clothes that flatter your body shape, and even if you have a little bit of weight on you, you can dress so you can dress in a way that it's more it makes it look like you care more about yourself, and you do. So don't think that just because maybe you gained 50 pounds or 100 pounds or 150 pounds, like you're a waste, or you're a lost cause. You're really not. If it took you a while to gain that weight, and it's going to take you a while to lose that weight as well. So I hope that you guys don't give up on yourselves, and if you encounter any difficulties, any plateaus, either figure out why you're plateauing, or change your diet, or change the way you approach things, because I believe that if a celebrity can accomplish certain things, right? Like, people, you've seen celebrities like before and after, right? When they're famous, before they're famous and after they're famous, they look that good because they have a team of people, that care about their hair and their skin and their body, their fitness and their clothing. It's like, so if you do not have the funds to pay these people, right? Like, I don't have the funds to go and get a personal stylist and have a person be my dietitian and my personal trainer, and uh, be like the whole thing for me. And neither would I want to. And like, can you imagine if I had like my own personal trainer, plus my own dietitian, plus my own stylist, plus my own plus like me having to like control my diet so much, like so restricted, like, yeah, I feel a little suffocating. And I imagine like those celebrities, although they look good, maybe they don't feel that happy because they know that for certain things, like their image, like people are really keeping an eye on how they look like. And I imagine the pressure is just so big on them. Like, if Gerard Butler gains a little weight, people talk about it. They're like, oh man, look, he's letting himself go. Wow, he's getting fat. Jeez. But yeah, celebrities are people too. So if they are not in tip-top shape and they're just being a normal civilian, then that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So if you have a little weight on yourself, or some kind of issue, just be mindful of that these celebrities, they're not superhuman or something. They're not like that. They have access to dermatologists and professionals that most people wouldn't pay for, and those professionals their job is to make sure that these people look good. So if you feel like you're not getting results, but you're not being consistent about it, that's the reason why. Yeah. So I hope that came across pretty well. Like, don't blame yourself. Like, don't think you're genetically inferior to like a celebrity. You gotta like look at the money. There's so much money spent on celebrities, their image, because really, if for instance, if you're a pop star and you don't look good, you're probably not gonna break out. Break out in terms of be popular, because you look at, let's say, female celebrities or male celebrities. Like, look at Pussycat Dolls, for instance, right? All these women, I know this is photoshopped, but like all these women, they have, thin bodies, and they got, whitened teeth, and they got the hair and the makeup and the fitness, and that's what draws people in, besides their catchy music, right? But if these women did not look like the way they did, do you think that people would really want to see music videos of them? Not really, right? I mean, like, look at the body. Look at the straight hair. See, this is not hair that you wake up with. This is hair that has been professionally styled. The makeup's been professionally done. The body is done by a trainer. They got a dietitian, 100%. They got a dietitian. The clothes are picked up by a stylist, and then they got nails done, so they got manicurists over here too, and dentists, right? Dental work, making sure that everybody has perfect teeth. So this is attainable, but you need to put money into it. And most people don't want to put the money in, or they don't have access to put the money in to have perfectly white teeth 24/7. And that's why they don't look like a celebrity. Yeah. But then again, remember, for celebrity, it's not just them. They have a manager. They got a record label. They got their agency representing them. So they have to look good, because if they don't look good, yeah, no one's gonna really want them. Like same for a model, right? Like a model, like models have to typically look a certain way, and if they don't look like a certain way, if they look like they rolled out of bed. Like who the hell wants to hire a model that doesn't have, let's say, amazing bone structure, or the measurements, and yeah. Yeah, so when I look at these kind of pictures, I see a lot of money behind them. I see a lot of professionals behind them, a lot of talented individuals. This is not just the work of one person. This is the work of several people who are really good at what they do. Yeah. Oh, it's Erica with the C. Adele lost a bunch of weight. I don't know how she lost weight. I heard about that. If she feels better and she's doing it in a healthy manner, then good for her. I think people, I think that when people have less weight on them, like if they're overweight and they have less weight on them, and they seem like, um, not when I'm not, yeah, when I'm talking about less weight, I'm talking about like if they're considerably heavy and they look like they're lighter, so it's easier for on their organs, then I'm in support of that, because I think that if you're in a healthier weight, you will live a longer life, provided you did it in a healthy fashion, right? So I'm not a I definitely do not support like those people who do on the crash dieting, or the people who are like, oh, I gotta go on a liquid fast for the next 20 days so I can drop weight, like that kind of stuff. You might get results, but it's unsustainable and it's dangerous in my opinion. Like people should not be doing like water fast in my opinion for extended periods of time, or think, oh, I gotta be as skinny as I can because I'll be more attractive. Like you really, I think that if you want to like lose weight, you got to do it in a healthy fashion. You got to eat more whole foods, you got to watch what you're consuming, and make sure you get nutrition in there. Because if you don't like if you do not get good nutrition, I can tell you guys this from personal experience, it shows. Like you might lose the weight, you might be gaunt, but your body's not going to look healthy. So I always try to load up on like good fats, fish oils, that sort of thing now. And I feel like, yeah, cutting out the processed foods, cutting out the processed sugar really does make a big difference in how I feel, and how my skin feels too. I never enjoyed it. I know Gerard Butler. His people call him Jerry. I know that. That's the only time I hear about Jerry. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go eat breakfast. I made some eggs, um, and yeah. So I will talk to you guys later. I want to keep this video a little short, so hopefully more people watch it. We're at 28 minutes marks. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope that you guys keep this in mind. Please do not beat yourself up if you've been doing something for a couple days and you don't see results. Again, all this stuff takes time. You got to be patient with yourself. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. You build up these good habits, you will get those results. And if something isn't working for you, right? Pivot and then try to find a way to get the result that you want in a healthy, sustainable manner.